Good morning. Today in Saxon, we are going to continue our review of patterns that we have learned this year. So far, we have reviewed consonant digraphs and vowel digraphs. And this week, we are going to review diphthongs. Now, remember, diphthongs are funky patterns. Those are the patterns where two letters come together, but when they come together, they make a brand new, interesting, and unpredictable sound, meaning it's not a sound that we would expect them to make. So in vowel digraphs, when the two vowels come together, we typically hear one of the vowels. Like in AI, we hear A. With diphthongs, they make a new, unexpected sound. So we have a couple different sets of diphthongs. We have OI and OY. We call those sound twins a lot of times because they make the same exact sound, even though they're two different patterns. They make the oi sound. Now, oi, I don't hear an O sound. I don't hear an I sound. I don't hear a Y sound. They make a completely new sound, oi. So it's a diphthong. Now, when it's a diphthong, it gets a smiley underneath it, just like a combination gets a smiley underneath it. Since they are sound twins, that can be a problem when we're spelling and we hear that pattern. Why would that be a problem? That's right, because we don't know if we're supposed to use the OI pattern or the OY pattern. So luckily, there's a rule. What's the rule? That's right. If we hear the oi sound at the beginning or in the middle of a word, it's going to be the OI pattern, like in oink or coin. If we hear the oi sound at the end of the word, it's going to be the OY pattern, like in toy. Our second set of diphthongs are the ow-ow twins, OU and OW. They both say the ow sound. Again, we run into the same problem. Well, if I hear that sound, how do I know if it's OU or OW? Now, OU and OW are a little bit trickier than the OI and OY, and I'll explain why in a minute. We know that if we hear the ow sound at the beginning or in the middle of a word, it's going to be this pattern, like in ouch or mouse. However, if we hear the ow sound in the middle of a word or at the beginning, it might also be this pattern, like in clown. I hear the ow in the middle, but it is the OW. The only thing that is really easy with these two patterns is if we hear the ow sound at the end of a word, like in how, it's always going to be OW. So at least we can use that rule to know that if we hear the ow sound at the end, it's always going to be the diphthong OW. But in the middle, it gets a little tricky. It could be the OU or OW. So you have to practice those words to get more familiar with them. Now, this is a pattern I pointed out last week. Those two patterns are actually considered vowel digraphs because when you put them together, they say that aw sound, which is that A making the O sound, that A with the two dots above it. So it is technically making a vowel sound, but I personally think they are still some funky patterns, just like our diphthongs, oi oi and ow ow. So I put them with the diphthongs, just because I think they're kind of funky. So you'll see they're underlined like a vowel digraph is, but if you put a smiley underneath it when you're coding it, I wouldn't mark it wrong because, again, I personally think they're kind of funky like diphthongs. So this week, when you're doing your choice board, just like you've been doing, you're going to use these 6 patterns to come up with diphthong words for all of your activities. Our oi oi sound twins, our ow ow sound twins, and our aw aw sound twins.